Hiya, I've just been listening to this CD. This is not a sales.
At last.
I've been listening to it because Gary said I had to. And, no, but we've been singing My Country Palantine, and I've been listening to it to get my part right. And then I carried on letting it go on in the car, and there's some fantastic tracks on here. Seriously, the drama of the Cole and Albert Berry.
Hang on, let me get some money out here.
Yeah. Just give me the usual fee.
So you mean that?
No, you give me goosebumps listening to it, because I could just see the scene, you know.
Cole and Albert Berry?
Yes.
Well, Cole and Albert Berry I worked on with John Kettle, who did a fabulous job of putting it all together. Really, Merry Hell.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to do was the same as Freddie Mercury did with rock and roll. I wanted to put folk into opera.
All right, yeah.
And if you listen to the way I'll try to sing it, try to get it there, just the same as a good folk song tale, the opera does the same. And I wanted to get the power of that into the song.
It really works. I was just driving along and I thought, oh, wow. You know, it's a dramatic thing. And that, Vera, that lovely song, it's actually mentioned in the title, One More Bite of the Cherry, but the song's not called that, is it?
No, it's called Grey's the New Blonde.
Yes.
Written by Henry Priestman.
And the reason he wrote that is because of the epidemic, is the fact that the ladies couldn't get to the hairdressers. And we found out what colour their hair was. And a big shock to a lot of lads.
But that's so great. In fact,
here's the proof.
There's some I love this LP. And who's this? Dave Howard, he plays in Tinkers, doesn't he?
Oldham Tinkers, yes,
he's a
tinker.
Yeah,
he's a little tinker.
Tinker Dave.
Tinker Dave.
Yeah. And Dave, he plays on quite a lot of the tracks. Like the mandolin or guitar, it's brilliant.
There's a Michael Giver in whose mandolin as well.
Oh, right, yeah. He's out of Jaywalkers.
Oh, right.
Michael Giver.
Oh, John Brindley.
John Brindley. Fiddle. I mean, look at that lineup.
I know.
We're a big fan of John.
Brian Willoughby. I know I was coming and watching him with you, and when you invited me, I couldn't come.
Yeah.
John Sandham.
Yeah.
John Kettle, who's produced.
Yeah, but you missed the best one.
Who? Gary Aspey.
You played along with, Vera.
Brian Willoughby.
Brian Willoughby.
Yeah, acoustic
Out
guitar.
of the Straubs.
Yeah.
Hey, it's anyway, but it's not a sales pitch.
No.
This.
No, it's not a sales pitch.
Let's move on.
No. If you want it, buy it.
Just can you tell me this bit about Vera being arrested on a bus station?
It was in Hong Kong, actually. She didn't get arrested but Joanne, we took Joanne over to Hong Kong with us.
Our daughter.
We were entertaining the troops in
You've done
Hong
that
Kong.
a few times, haven't you?
Yes, and it was fabulous. I mean, I love Hong Kong. And she wanted to go to the toilet, and we found a bus station. So we went, and I walked across with her and made sure she came out all right. I left Vera at the entrance, not realising that it was a place where a lot of girls just wasted their time hanging around.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so when we came back, you see, we bobbed our head round the corner, and there was a fella there on crutches with no teeth on, trying to chat her up.
An old fella.
And we wouldn't come round the corner. We were, Joanne and I were absolutely aching, laughing. And that's she
Hong
wasn't
Kong.
pleased.
I mean, how many folk singers have sung in Hong Kong? Hey, but I'll tell you a tale, a very, very quick one. I think I'm the only person in the world who's sung A Mon Like Thee in Zimbabwe. Well, that's another story.
I can beat that one.
One.
We sang in Hong Kong, and we sang...
For she loves to hear the water rattle and the
nightingales sing. And we had them all there. We had all the Cantonese on one side, all the English on the other side, and they were learning For She Loves to Hear the Water Rattle, because they wanted to get a passport to come to England.
So you've sung, I mean, tell us all places. You don't have to go into detail. I just want to know. I know you've sung in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
But have you sung in other countries abroad?
Australia, New Zealand.
Falklands.
Wow.
Ascension Islands.
Falklands, yeah. And believe me, the lads who were in the Falklands, it was Mount Alice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was they sang in two. They bolted two containers together, and they made it like a pub. It was brilliant. But the leader of the choir was in the audience, and he tapped on the beam at the top, and then he said, "Could we entertain you?" Because they liked what we did. And they stood up. They were absolutely brilliant.
We're all climbing up the Sunshine Mountain.
They were
Brilliant. And they were spot on, the
fabulous.
movements, everything.
It was great. They were really. We stood up and clapped. A lot of us. It was very good.
And you told me before, I just want to mention this briefly about when you sang in Perth in Australia, and the fact that that Vera couldn't come on stage with you.
Yes, at the Royal Yacht Club. They wouldn't allow the women on there. One of our cast, I think, had stage fright, and he couldn't get on. Yeah. And so they asked me to go on there and step in for him, which a bit of a sweat. I did it. And it went down a bomb, which was good. But I'll tell you what, but I wasn't allowed Vera to come on and sing with me.
So I just had to talk, didn't you?
Yeah.
Which you're not bad at doing, are you?
Hey, well, if you are.
You have to.
Me gob is good. That's it.
Yeah. Well, we're talking, absolute nonsense now, but but so you've been to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
I think that's tremendous. Falkland, Ascension Island, did you say?
Yeah.
Is that right in the middle of Atlantic?
That's in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. And if you go in there and they think it's black seaweed, it's not. It's sea piranha.
Bloody hell.
And I went swimming in that. I know, when they told me.
Is that why you've got a high voice?
That's it. Now you've got it.
And Australia, New Zealand.
Yes. Yeah, we went twice.
Have you ever been anywhere in Europe, Charlotte?
Oh, several places in Europe. Yeah, Germany particularly.
Right. Oh, of course.
What was it? Brunei as well, wasn't it?
Brunei.
On Crocodile Beach.
Wow.
Which I kept away from the river because there were crocodiles there. Very sensible. Yeah. So I went swimming in the sea. And this reporter came in, waded in to do an interview with me. He says, "You're a bit brave here, aren't you?" I said, "Why?" He says, "Well, what about crocodiles?" I said, "Well, they're around the corner in the river." He said, "You never heard of sea crocodiles?" I said, "No."
No, that was
so
true.
I put my goggles on and I looked, there must have been 10 on the bottom of the floor. Oh, I got out fast.
But going back to New Zealand, when we were asked to do this television spot, and we ended up with, you thought it was going to be The Hills Are Alive, with the sound of music.
Yeah, that was fun. They took us, brought a Rolls Royce for us, took us out into the countryside of New Zealand. The hills are alive. I thought, brilliant. When we got there, they dumped a slag heap in the middle of a field, like a horseshoe, you see. Yeah. And they plonked us, me and V in the middle. And we had to sing
3 foot scene, weren't it?
Working in the 3 foot scene, you see. And it was pile up high, and then they had this here guy with the boom on the top, and then the camera was looking at us in the middle of the horseshoe, you see. And as I'm singing it, I heard this here, and he fell off. And he come round the front, black face, and then they expected me to sing after that. Which I couldn't. It took me 2 hours to stop laughing.
I'm sure. Listen, we could, and we'll do this again because we'll have a few chats. But what I want to do, can you just remind? Did you, when I was in a group called the Old Triangle in 1971.
Yes.
It was me and Norman Prince, but primarily it was Pat Austin, Pat Batty, and Mike Austin.
Yeah.
They were the stalwarts of the group. And we started off, Norman left and I left soon after, and the group changed.
At the Red Lion.
At the Red Lion. Yeah. Now, can you remember playing that?
Yes, several times.
Oh,
yeah, it was great club.
Great club, yes.
Only a very small room.
But
it gave it the atmosphere.
But we did it, yes.
Because Bird had said, I said, it only held about 80, 90 people. He said it should have only held about 40, but there was still too many.
It doesn't matter. The pub is our theatre.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
That and toilets.
Singing in toilets.
I get a lot of toilets.
That we'll touch that on another day. But we'd just like to say bye-bye to everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Ta-ra. Bye-bye.